Salil, you have specialized in economics/econometrics. What drove you to pick this specialization? Was causality uh, always your interest?
That's a nice question, and thanks for asking. I think like my interest in economics stems way back, and it actually goes way back, I would say several decades to my high school days, where it was one of the subjects I took in my final 2 years of high school, and I really enjoyed it because it gave me the opportunity to sort of apply theory and sort of concepts that you learn. So very simple things like supply, demand, and so on and so forth, and see how you can actually apply that to the real world. Um, I think my interest in, let's say, causality and so on, I wouldn't say it was always of interest, but it's funny when I think about this question because back also in high school, I took a, a course in something related to philosophy, which is called theory of knowledge, and topics of causality actually came up there. So trying to understand things like the scientific method and things like, okay, what is actually meant by causality? So, philosophers like David Hume say maybe causality, it's probably part of some sort of psychological habit that we have as humans, right? We only observe, let's say, series of events, but maybe it's just a psychological thing that we have that we say, okay, there is a cause to it all, right? And you can think about these things philosophically, and that's one interest that I have, to think about this more in sort of the broader scope of things. But if we talk about causality in terms of statistics and so on, yeah, I think that would have happened probably in my undergrad days, wherein I took a microeconometrics class, and one of the canonical questions that they ask is like, what is the impact of education on wages, right? And this is a classic, let's say, regression model, which is, the gateway into trying to understand a lot of things about causality. So things like omitted variable bias, instrumental variables, reverse causation, and all these sort of things. So I think that's where it happened back in my like undergrad days.
Mhm. Very interesting.